Hey everyone, welcome back for another video. My name is Shelby. This is True North Budgets. My husband Tanner and I are on a journey to pay off our debt and catch up in a lot of our sinking funds that we fell behind on due to our recent wedding. Today we're going to be doing a budget with me for the first week of September. I know I'm a little bit behind. We're coming up on the second week in just a couple days, but I just wanted to get this out for you guys. So if that sounds interesting to you, if you want to see more, please stay tuned. Make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment below, and hit subscribe so you get notified for future videos. But let's go ahead and get into it. So today we are going to be doing September 5th through, before actually we jump in, let me zoom you guys in just a hair so that you can see a little bit more of my paycheck breakdown sheet. Okay. So we're zoomed in a little bit here. This is going to be for September 5th through, let's see, today is the 10th. So this will go through September 11th. And we are actually working with 3 different sources of income for this week. And that is going to be my husband Tanner's full-time income. He works as a detention officer at our county jail. And then I collect unemployment each week, so I have that check. And then I also do deliveries for Spark, so that is Walmart grocery delivery. And for Tanner's check, we are going to be budgeting $13.75. And then unemployment, I get $593 from unemployment, and then I am budgeting $400 for Spark, so that's $993 total. And then to get our total income that we are budgeting for this week, we will do $13.75 plus $993 is $2,368. Now our income is not normally this high on a week-to-week basis. Tanner is paid bi-weekly, so next week he will not have a check, so we will just have unemployment income from me, Spark income from me, and then I also clean and co-host a couple Airbnbs, so we'll have some of that income to work with. But looking at our bills, I can show you guys the sheet that I'm looking at off to the side too. So I'm looking at my budget calendar. And I have this laid out so that each week it's highlighted as to what bills come out on what day. So this green section, this is week 1, and then week 2 will start on the 12th, so that'll be the gray. Week 3 is the coralish orange, and then week 4 is the purple. So all income and bills that are happening within that week get accounted for in that week. And then I just track the exact amounts of the income on the side over here. So I have that off to the side. That's what I'm looking at to determine which bills go in which categories. So jumping into our bills section, that's this first section, we have 3 bills coming out this week. That is our internet bill, Nissan is, my car payment, Verizon is our phone bill. So for internet, we budget $120. Our bill is exactly $120. I know that might seem really high. We have Starlink internet. We don't have many other options for great internet in our area, so we have satellite internet. And then my car payment is $527, and our Verizon bill is $223. So the total for that section is $870. And then next up is subscriptions. This week we have Amazon Prime. We have our PlayStation subscription. And we have our Peacock subscription. Amazon is $15, PlayStation is $18, and Peacock we're budgeting $3. How's your guys' week been going? I know it's been a couple days since I filmed. I think I last filmed on Monday. Today is Wednesday. How is your week? I know we're halfway through the work week. We are, oh gross. I don't know what got on my sheet there. We're halfway through the work week. We are, I don't know where we are. It is Wednesday night that I'm filming this. It's actually like 10:30 at night, or 11 almost at night. And yeah, so let me know what you've been up to this week, what fun plans you have for the weekend. Let's get a total for this section. We've got 15, 18, and 3, so that total is 36. And then in our debt, we have 2 debt payments that we will need to make this week. We have Upstart 2, that is a personal loan that I have, and then Best Egg 2. That is another personal loan. Upstart is $78. Best Egg is $165. So that puts that total at $243. And then let's find out our remaining income before we jump over to this side. So to do that, we're going to take the total income that I have for the week and subtract out each category. So $23.68, we subtract out $870. That leaves us with $14.98. And then we subtract out the 36, that's $14.62. And then we subtract out $243. That leaves us with $1,219 to put towards our variable expenses and our savings categories. So for our variable expenses, those categories for us are always gas, groceries, and eating out. We always budget the same amount for these. However, the amount that we spend on a week-to-week basis does vary. So gas, we always budget $50. Groceries, we budget $250 a week, and eating out, we'll budget $30. On a month-to-month basis, I change how much I put towards eating out. It just kind of depends on where we're sitting for income and where we're sitting for our expenses. But the total for that section is going to be $330. So then we have the $12.19, we take out $330. That leaves us with $889 to put towards, either to put towards our savings categories or to roll over for week 2. So I do a zero-based budget for the month overall, but from week to week, I'm not as concerned about that being zero-based, because some weeks we just have a higher bill week. So we need that little bit of extra to cover the bills for that week that we didn't spend the previous week, if that makes sense. Let's see here. For our savings categories, these are all categories that we're negative in, unfortunately. So this money is just going to go straight back into the bank to pay off expenses that we've already paid. We are going to stuff date night. We might have a little at-home date night this weekend if weather cooperates. I guess we have a couple of options for quote-unquote at-home or like free date nights. We were gifted paddle boards by a couple of our friends for our wedding, and the weather tomorrow is supposed to be pretty nice, but then the rest of the weekend it's going to be kind of gloomy and rainy. So that's an option for us to go paddleboarding tomorrow. The other option is that Saturday night, it's not supposed to be rainy in the evening, but the temperature is supposed to be kind of cooler. It's like low 70s, which by the time the sun goes down, that would be a great temperature if it's not windy or raining to do a fire pit. So those are kind of our options for there's a gnat, for free date nights that we might do this weekend. And then we also are doing a weekly Bible study together, Tanner and I are. So we will discuss what we've learned in our Bible study this week. So date night, we're going to budget $25. And then we each will be getting some spending money. We are not negative in this. Well, I am a little bit, but Tanner's not. Tanner has like $100 and some, but I always give us both the same amount of spending money. So I get 5 and Tanner gets 5 this week. And then self-care. This is going to pay off my last facial that I had right before the wedding. So that was good. I got a facial and I got dermaplaning and my brows waxed right before the wedding. So that came out of my self-care envelope. And then we have vitamins and our deductible. Those are our 2 health categories that we're saving for this week. Vitamins will get 25, and then deductible is going to get 2. There's something I was going to tell you guys, and now I cannot for the life of me remember what it was. Shoot. Oh, I have been posting some new listings on my Etsy store, so be sure that you check that out to stay up to date on all the new things that are coming to my shop. At the end of the video, I'll actually show you an example of the products that I've made and listed, and then kind of give you some sneak peeks on things that will be coming. Treats. Now we're going to move into some of our pet categories. So we have treats and food. Those are the 2 categories in our pet binder that we spend out of the most, especially food. I would say food is probably the highest, and then treats. Treats is going to get 4, and then food is going to get 20. Okay. And now we'll move into, we are still paying off our wedding also. So we're going to move into a couple of our wedding categories that we need to pay off. I need to look at my breakdown a little bit closer here. Okay, so we'll have gifts for the groom as well as gifts for the bride. Gifts for the groom is going to get 5, and then gifts for the bride is going to get 20. And then groom clothes, I'm just going to abbreviate that. We are going to do 10 for groom clothes. And then makeup. This was to pay for my makeup to get done. That is going to get 16. And then we have a couple categories for food that we will pay off or work towards paying off. So we have the reception dinner and then brunch. I considered brunch like my bridesmaids and I got ready at the salon, and we were there at 7 o'clock in the morning. So I provided like muffins and yogurt and granola and juice, mimosa stuff, all of those types of things for them. So that would be what the brunch was. And let's see, what was my breakdown for that? I believe I did I think I did 30 and 30. Yeah. So we'll do 30 for each of those. So now let's lastly get a total for this. As I'm sure you can tell, the total for this is not going to be $889. 5. Okay. I believe that's right. Should be $222. Yep. So $667 is what we have left. So this number, that's our rollover for next week. So looking into next week, we will start the week with $667, and then we will add income to that as our total budgetable income for that week. Okay, I'm so sorry guys. Your view probably just shifted a little bit because my my phone mount like fell over, so I had to put it back up, and I don't know if I got it put up in the same spot. So sorry about that, but that's gonna wrap up the paycheck breakdown portion of this video. Let me zoom you guys back out so that we can go over the products that I have listed. Okay, I am back. I know that was just a second for you guys. So first up, I have my A5, what are these called? A5 envelope labels. So these labels on my envelopes, I will be selling just the labels by themselves, and they come in a ton of different colors. I think I have like 14 different colors listed. I've got, this is what I would call my shiny silver, and then I also have a matte silver, I have white, I have matte black, I have a holographic black, that one's pretty cool. I have maroon, I have red, I have blue, like navy blue, I have a bright blue, I have yellow, ton of different colors. Those are all listed as options. Oh, just noticed that my little PJs were sneaking into the film there at the bottom. I have all those options listed on my listing on the storefront, and you can get them in bundles of 1, 3, 6, or 10. Those bundles are going to be the same for the envelopes too. So these are the labels. You'll get the label and then transfer tape to put the label on yourself. The number of strips of transfer tape will depend on how many labels you purchase. So if you purchase 3, you will get just 1 piece, or 3 or less. And then if you purchase 6, you'll probably get 2. And then 10, I'll probably throw in 3. You can reuse the transfer tape multiple times. You should be able to get 4 to 5 labels out of each piece of transfer tape, but just in case something happens, I want to make sure that you have enough to do all of your labels. So that's it for that one. Next up, I've got 2 different types of envelopes. These are A5 envelopes. I will be listing A6 size as well. Same with the stickers. I'll be listing A6 size as well for those. I currently only have the A5 ones listed, but we have the zippered envelopes. So these ones all have a zipper. If you do order these ones, they will come alternating sides. So like the top one will close on this side, and then the next one behind it will close on this side. That just helps them to lay better in your binder and not take up as much space. So there's those ones. And then I also have zipless ones. So these ones just open at the top. They do not have a zipper. These ones are kind of more of a little bit more, well, I guess they're about the same. They're both a frosted PVC envelope. So that is those ones. These ones are a little bit more flexible than the zipped ones. The zipped ones are a little bit more rigid, but there's those. They will come, you can customize whatever category you would like on them. I've also got some different font options listed too. And then lastly is my PDF for my to-do list. So currently it's listed as a 8.5 by 11, so just a letter size sheet of paper. I don't know why I have 2 of them. So you can you'll get this as a digital download, so you can either use it digitally on your favorite notes app, or you can print it out as many times as you would like. So it has the date at the top there, a spot to list all of your to-dos, and then a section for your priorities, a reminder section. So if you have like appointments, things like that, you can list those. And then as you go throughout the day, if you think of anything that you need to make sure you remember for tomorrow, like the next day, then you can put that in this bottom section. So that's my to-do list page. I will be making these in a printed version as well, so you can get them printed as an insert for your budget binder, or you can I'm also playing around with trying to make tearaway notepads, and this would be one of those notepads that I would make. I would make a to-do list one, so you would get probably like 25 to 50 sheets per notepad. So keep an eye out for those to come. But that's so far as what I have listed. I'm so excited to be making products again and to just have time and have my office space back, you guys. It has been so nice to be able to sit in the office and pull my chair back and just use my desk. I haven't used my desk in probably, oh gosh, I don't even know, since like February of this year. Because I was still working at home in February, and then I got laid off at the beginning of that month. So after that point, our office kind of just became our storage space for wedding stuff. And now that that's all done and compacted into less organized bins, it's just nice to have that space back. But yeah, that's gonna wrap up this week's video, or today's video, I suppose. If you want to see any other content in the future, let me know down in the comments. Leave a red heart, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!